Namaste. Okay, is it working? Okay. Namaste, my beautiful queens. You know what I want to do today before I collapse and fall asleep for 45 minutes to be awakened with the voice of my deeper sensual voice of my twin flame waking me up because he just would not let me be. You know what I want to do today? Spread. It's not going to be pick up the card, it's going to be spread. So you would have to take whatever resonates and don't take what doesn't resonate. So the spread, my queens, is about you. Gentlemen, if there are any men out there, you can do that as well. Two partners in your life. Girls, as all my videos mostly are for you. Two partners in your life. The spread, what to do if you are having two men in your life. What is an example? You are married for 2,500 years and suddenly you walked into a grocery store, get yourself some potatoes and carrots, and bump into the guy, raise your eyes, kaboom, you've known each other. I loved you for 1,000 years, I love you for 1,000 more, and then now you don't know what to do. You have your husband who is a good man or bad man, or not really good, not really bad, whatever your situation is. If you have two partners in your life, two men, husband and lover, I don't know, sometimes you won't believe it, girls, sometimes I get such emails which I don't know whether I need to cry or I need to laugh, because it was one email when a woman wrote me that she cheated on her husband with four men, with four. I don't know how they, and she wanted me to do the reading of all four of them. Of course I didn't. This is nasty and ridiculous. I wouldn't get into energies like this, but it happened. So you have two men you are thinking about in your life. Maybe you are a young woman and you have two men who want to marry you. Both of them are wonderful and both of them you feel something in your heart. Whatever your situation with is, usually I don't do such readings, but there were lots of requests, you know. So two men in your life. I am using the tarot of the year, very talking, very communicating deck. So there, it's not going to be pick up the cards, girls. This is one spread. I cannot do pick up your cards because this is spread consists of 7 cards. So please think about those two men of your life. Man number 1, give him number 1, and man number 2, give him number 2, because we are going to be looking now if you have two men in your life. Gentlemen, if you have two women in your life, then screw you. I don't want to talk to you I'm just joking. Anyways, gentlemen is going to give me this. Gentlemen always give me this because I irritate them with my absolute stubbornness and not wanting to obey and do what they tell me. So two men in your life. Card number 1. What holds you with the first one? This is position. What holds you with the first one? All right. Number 2. What keeps you thinking of the second one? Or what keeps you loving the second one? What is that between you two? What holds you together? Why you keep on thinking of him, loving him, so on and so on? What you need to do about the first one? What you do not need to do about the first one? Advice. What you need to do about the second one? What you do not need to do about the second one? Okay, this is the advice. And the outcome of this situation, we are going to do one card. Again, my beautiful queens, this is not pick up the card, this is one spread. So, of course, pick up what is resonating. Not everything I say will be resonating. You have to decide. So, number one, what holds you together while you are staying with the first one? Let us see. Marriage. What else holds you together with the first one? You are his wife. First of all, my beautiful queen said, what a surprise. This is the card of Hierophant. And of course, Hierophant signifies the signifies the marriage, and also Hierophant signifies. Of course, this is not for all of you, but Hierophant signifies um, a very moral type of a man. This what is situational. You know, I always want to say so much that my thoughts are going all over the place. So first of all, this is marriage. Second of all, this is a situation where lots of dogmas are involved. So could be that this is your husband. Is a very very nice man, very good man, because if we're talking about the personality, he's, you see this man giving blessings to this man right here. So we're talking about good men. We are not talking about some cheat, manipulator, and narcissist. Of course, again, take what resonates, but at the same time, it's a man very conservative and very dogmatic. You know, you must do this, you must do this, because probably a very religious, may keepers of karma help you if it's a religious, because that's a crazy thing. The most terrible thing is to be dealing with a fanatic, a religious fanatic, because they don't hear anything. So Hierophant is very hard to be with him. The same time you feel safe with him. At the same time, you know, they are very right. They don't do wrong things. They are very noble, and they are serving the higher purposes, and at the same time they are intuitive. So from the first meaning, what holds you together with this man, it could be the fact that this is your husband. Second, you feel safe with him, and this is a head of a household, someone who has high standards and holds everyone up to this high standards. At the same time, you know, they can be a little bit like a hermit, because you will, what is a Hierophant stands for the Pope. So of course, this type of a man will not make passionate love with you, and will not, you know, grab you and throw you into the waterfall and jump and then you laugh. I mean, they are not fun to be around. They're rarely romantic. So you can have, you know, downsides of being with Hierophant. At the same time, it's they're wise, they are smart, they are deep, they are calm, and it's at the same time it's good to be around them sometimes. Well, of course, if it's somebody like me, I would probably last 5 minutes, because a witch and Hierophant don't come together. But this is the reason why you are staying with the first one. Why you are with the second one? Why second one grabbed your attention? Really? So you're stuck. Very interesting. The Hangman. You're stuck in this winter time. You are staying with him. First of all, we are dealing. You see this? I don't know. So do you see this ice right here? So we are in a karmic situation, unfortunately, very complicated situation, which brings lots of things. What it brings, it's a stagnation. It's unfortunately a situation which is not moving absolutely nowhere, because it is a hangman. But at the same time, he cannot control, especially if we are taking these two into consideration, he cannot control the situation, because very possible he is married. Okay, and it's very possible both of you are married, and it's very possible that you are married and he is free, but he cannot do absolutely nothing. And of course, it's a crisis. You have a crisis of your relationship, but this crisis is the reason actually you are staying with him, because also these are karmically based relationship. This requires, okay, these two major arcana require us to really look into it, but everything is not moving anywhere. So it's apathy, it's sadness, it's like you're powerless, it's a crisis, you do not know what to do, nothing is happening, he's not doing anything, because it's a hangman, not even hangman, he was hanging out there for such a long time that there is eyes here again. Of course, this card signifies is also the lovers, which is barrier between you two, the three of swords, which is third party relationship, broken heart, the three of cups or six of pentacles, when you are giving a lot and receiving a little, so on and so on. So this is someone who, it's not like he doesn't want to do anything. At some point he doesn't want to do anything, at some point he doesn't want, or sometimes he can't. So it's suffering, he's suffering, but he doesn't do anything because he cannot do anything. Let's face it, girls, if you are married to Hierophant, there is nothing he can do until you walk away from Hierophant. But at the same time, this is karma, the same time this is transformation. So it requires from him to do a certain actions, but it also can be required from you. So in order for you to be together, something needs to be left behind. It is either your marriage or his marriage, or yours and his. Because if you just stay with this man and hope for because lots of you are like this, lots of you are both married and you are hoping for miracle to happen. You know, your husband falls in love with somebody, walks away from you, his wife falls in love with somebody. I used to joke about this myself. I was like, his wife is just gonna fall in love with somebody, just gonna walk away. Very little chance that this is happening, that I mean, chance of this just being resolved by itself is very slim. So of course actions would be, if you want to be with this man, actions would be required from both of you, not just from him, but from both of you. So second, what do this about your husband, do not do this about your husband, or if it's not a husband, about the first man, do this. Five of wands. You see, five of wands talks about your marriage is not being very happy, but at the same time, five of wands tells you that you cannot you are not extremely happy to be with him, but at the same time you're not extremely happy to walk away from him. So the five of wands tells you you are dealing with a good man, and it tells you that it's very reasonable. It's reasonable, okay? It's a reasonable to stay in this marriage and to work through your differences, because you probably are very passionate, especially if you're fire sign, because they are the five of wands here, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and he of course would be calm and passionate, and you are passionate like myself, and he is all calm, and I would go bananas with somebody with a Hierophant, you know, secretly telling you this is my least favorite card, Hierophant. And even in the dreams when I'm calling arcanas to come to me and talk to me about themselves, because you know I would talk to you know, the Fool, I would talk to the Devil, I would talk to King of Wands, but Hierophant Hierophant wouldn't come to me and I would tell him, why you're not coming, he would say, well, you hate me, I'm not coming to you and telling you nothing, because it's just my character is totally opposite of Hierophant. I hate dogmas. So but at the same time, you could be good together. You could be good together. And you could, if you have children with him, or you are planning to have children with him, it could be a wonderful for you two to stay together, because because it could be a good standing marriage. Because he is the calm, reliable, very noble type of a man. Of course, if I'm talking about if your husband something else, of course this is not for you. But at the same time, so this is the do it. But at the same time, you have to understand that Five of Wands have the second meaning in this area. Sometimes Five of Wands says fight for what's not serving you, leave if it's unbearable, if it's a misery for you every breathing moment. Yes, it's not gonna be easy. Yes, it's not gonna be just but it's a tower type. Fight for your freedom. So this card talks either fight for staying, try to fight for staying if you consider it's better to stay, or fight for your freedom. The decision would be yours. Now, do not do this. Do not do this. Okay, don't sit around and wait for you. Well, I can't. Okay, Five of Cups. I'm sorry, Five of Cups. Five of Pentacles. You see, it's not requiring, it doesn't recommend you to leave. You see, Five of Pentacles is you're being miserable, you're being unhappy, you are sitting under this mushrooms in the rain. Five of Pentacles unfortunately talks about misery and unhappiness, and do not do that. Do not fall into despair. And this is a card of separation. Cards do not recommend you to leave this man. Of course, you have to decide what you want. But leaving this man, what is Five of Pentacles? Five of Pentacles leads to many problems. To many problems. It's a very negative card. Unfortunately, but it means also it's a good card for sometimes. No, it's not good card for love, but it means that both are suffering. But this is you following your heart and breaking free from this marriage because you want this guy right here. But it tells you if you do this, it's going to be lots of problems because this is a Five of Pentacles. It leads to problems with finances, problems with material things, with lots and lots of things accordingly to the earthy vibration. At the same time, it's similar to the Tower. You're breaking free. It's your transformation. But it's very painful experience, very painful. So usually when you see Five of Pentacles, it's screaming, don't do this, because it's going to be a lot of difficulties. In love, if you leave your Hierophant, if you fight for your freedom and leave, that's gonna cause you two pretty much against the world. It brings you a lot of spiritual growth because you are refusing from material, but it's crisis, it's losing of lots of things you've loved, lots of things you consider dear, lots of losses, lots of hardship, lots of fears, lots of doubts, lots and lots of negative things. Yes, it can lead you to transformation, but you're going to be like this, sitting under the mushroom in the rain, and the mushroom would be the best place you can find to hide from the rain. So obviously, my beautiful queens, it does not recommend you to leave your husband. Now, What comes to the second one? Of course, again, if this is husband, if it's not a husband, but just you're trying to choose one man between two, then stay with this. Second one, do this outcome. Do this. Okay. 10, oh my God, 10 of swords. And what about the second one? The strength card. I believe that we would have to reverse them because we will connect it this way. I think that I was thinking one thing, I was putting down the card. So do not do this because it's 10 of swords. 10 of swords is the most horrible card you can think of. The scariest card of them all. If we take this one, right here, 5 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords would be much, much worse than you can think of. So unfortunately, these two cards talk about you. See, don't do this and do this. Do not fight for this man. Strength card. You fight for this relationship right here. Okay? And it's in a position, don't do this. Do this in this negative card means that if you avoid this action, this is not going to happen. So you have this situation with this man, which is not going anywhere absolutely, which is stagnation and everything I was talking about here. And in a position, don't do this, is the strength card. Fighting. Instead of him fighting for you, you will be fighting. You will be standing, you will be holding this bull, you will be fighting, because the strength card in this is more aggressive than it is in classical arcanas. You are like this mythological man right here fighting the bull. Do not fight, because you see this hangman right here, you're going to be fighting alone. You're going to be fighting for yourself. You're going to be fighting by yourself. He is not going to help you. The problem is, if you do fight for this, the outcome is going to be horrific. Horrific. Once in my life, I've been in this situation, my girls. Once with my twin flame, I have been in a situation when I thought that I have to fight, and I was fighting. I will not wish this card to my worst enemy. 10 of Swords. In a classical deck, it's a body lying on the ground with 10 swords in his chest. It's a little bit easier here because because it's already done. It's a cemetery, it's a graveyard, and the figure is sitting at the graveyard where someone was betrayed coldly. When you fight for him, you are going to receive absolutely worst outcome possible, because this means he's gonna betray you. He is going to leave you cold, in pain. This is disappointment in love. He is not gonna move his finger. You're gonna fight blood and sweat. You're gonna fight and fight and fight and fight, hoping that he's gonna help you, dreaming that he's gonna stand by your side. of course, having this wish that he's gonna stand by he's gonna stand by your side, but he's not going to stand by your side. And it's gonna be such pain that your heart will not be able to feel nothing. I have been there. I was numb with pain. I was completely numb. I couldn't feel nothing. I barely could understand where I am. Oh, who am I? What am I doing? I was in about 3, 4 in the morning in a horrific neighborhoods of San Francisco, among drug addicts and homeless and all kinds of weird creatures out there. And I did not care what would happen to me. This is how numb I was. I didn't feel any danger. I didn't feel any pain. I didn't feel nothing. I was dead walking because it was so painful. Please do not fight for this because it's going to lead you here. Outcome. Sorry, girls, these are the card. Outcome, it's not worth of fighting for this second one because it's only going to get you into terrible situation. If you follow these advices, what would be the outcome card of this whole situation? So you stay with the first one. You do not fight for the second one who wishes to do nothing for you. The outcome is wonderful. The outcome is 3 of Cups. You see those happy women out there, and there is a springtime, there is this some birdie is born and they are celebrating. 3 of Cups, if you are married, it's just a new page in the marriage. If you're not married, my dear girls, you're gonna marry this guy because the 3 of Cups is the card which we call the bells of the wedding bells. So also this is whatever you had misunderstandings with your hierophant, you will learn to understand him. You will learn to value his honor. You will learn to, if it's not your husband, right here we have marriage. Right here we have 2 cards of marriage and 2 cards, and this card of also giving birth to the child or children. The holiday of love, you make him a little bit more romantic, your hierophant. This is very positive outcome there. Wedding bells, we call it. Sometimes we call it the holiday of love. You are breaking through into a romantic side of your hierophant, and you achieve very harmonious, happy relationship. You will teach him how to share love and how to open up, and sometimes be a little bit less strict as hierophant is, because this is emotional union, this is marriage, this is togetherness which lasts for years and years and years to come. So definitely, my beautiful girls, screw the first one. You do not want to experience this. Took me almost 2 years, and you know I experienced this. I never really truly ever recovered. I pulled myself out of it. I've risen from ash. I call myself Phoenix. I've risen from the dead. But I never fully recovered that 10 of Swords which I've experienced. And please believe me, I do not want you to experience this, because coming out of 10 of Swords, you need to be enormously strong. And even though you probably can sense that I'm not a very weak type of a person, but for me, this until now, 2 years already, more than 2 years passed until now, I remember that night, and I feel the sharp pain as if 10 swords were driven into my heart. I do not know how. I thought I thought my heart would stop, because everything that moment just stopped, and I felt I am dead. I'm not gonna be feeling nothing anymore. I'm not gonna believe nothing anymore. I didn't believe nothing. It was just pain, which was unbearable. The spiritual pain, emotional pain, heart pain, which followed by the physical pain, and unfortunately it leads to heart problems and heart attacks and physical also health problems with heart. And what pulled me out of that was my kids, and specifically my second son Tommy, because he's like me. He's a psychic and a healer, and he would just hold my hands and he would just hug me and stay by my side for several days. And it pulled me out. I said, no, I'm not gonna die because, you know, some guy is an asshole, sorry my language. So my beautiful queens, this is all for this reading. I hope it was helpful. Namaste.